All right, next game up is Georgia State at Air Force. Air Force is laying 20 and a half or 21. The 20 and a halfs are used, or I think are just about juiced everywhere too. So we'll call it 21. And against the Georgia State team, that last week, if you missed the Ball State preview, we talked about it a little bit, but they went nuts on that line. They were like 5.5 point underdogs at open here in Las Vegas. Closed minus 6.5. They got all the steam in the summer, and then again the week of the game, and then again the day of the game. Really no buyback on Ball State, and Ball State basically handled them. They rushed for 325 yards. It ended up being like over 6 yards a carry. Georgia State couldn't stop the run, so I can see why this now you're playing an option team that only runs essentially. People are thinking Air Force is going to just crush them, and that could be the case. I'm not probably not going to play it. My number is lower as it was 18. Uh, Something in me tells me Georgia State after usually when a bunch of sharp guys are lining up and pounding Georgia State, uh, honestly I feel like I was missing something because I had the game lined essentially like Georgia State -1 or -2. I forget what it was. But so when it got to -3, it was kind of like okay, that's a pretty big move. It got to -4, got to -5, and the day the game got all the way up to 6.5. I just saw the Broncos score. That was a nice little play they ran for C.J. Anderson. Anyways, I felt like, all right, I'm missing something. But then when you watch the game, it was like, well, they just got crushed by Ball State at home. So it's only one game, so you can't really overreact to the one game sample, I guess is the point here. And, if they loved Georgia State last week, what's not to like here? And my number has it even lower. And I said what's not to like here. Well, I just told you Air Force only runs the ball, and they couldn't stop the run against Ball State. But point being, as far as the numbers go, it's hard to see a team that got steamed so hard by the sharper guys moving the market, all the money, being undervalued. Now like 4 points, and that's to my number, which I thought was Georgia State -1 or 2 last week when it closed 6.5. So other guys are saying that should have been a lot higher even, and so if that's the case, they might have this number under 2 touchdowns. So I'd be surprised if we didn't see some buyback at +21, but maybe not. It just seems like a spot that the guys might come back in and back Georgia State again. I'm not. I'm going to wait and see. If they have their worst run D of all time, then they have the worst run D of all time. As far as the total goes, stay away as well. Just kind of going to also be dependent on how they're able to defend the option, and I honestly just don't know. So it's a pass for me.